I have to be honest, I don't really have a great reason for making this video. I just kind of wanted to make a video about Mike Evans because he is an electric player and someone who I feel like, prior to this year probably didn't get the attention he deserved. And one of the things I love about him is how good of a route runner he is. He's one of, if not the best route runners in football. And so let's start off talking about that. So on this play, it's going to be man coverage. It's a cover one man play. You see the route he's running. So on an island, on the outside, one-on-one matchup, this is where Mike Evans thrives. Mike Evans is fantastic in these types of situations. He is the kind of guy where you say, hey, we're going to send you outside one-on-one, just go do your thing and get open, and he'll say, okay, I'm going to do that. So watch how this works. Right when it starts, you notice how at first he kind of fakes as though he's going a little bit closer to the inside. He moves just a little bit in, which gets the corner kind of facing that way as well. So Evans already sees where the corner is at. The corner has moved sort of towards the inside a little bit. Because, again, that's kind of what you want to do. You want to be in position where you're using the sideline as a tool. If Brady tries to fire one through a tight window and let Mike Evans kind of try to make a sideline catch, well, those two are capable of doing that, but it's hard to do that consistently no matter how good you are. So you're willing to use that. So they like to say use the sideline as an extra defender. That's what he's going to try and do here. Basically, if Evans tries to run behind him, he'll let him do that. And so then watch how Evans does kind of do that. He runs closer towards the sideline. So at this point, you're in a bind if you're a corner. I mean, what do you do exactly? Do you turn your shoulders all the way around? Well, not really. You don't want to do that because it'll slow you down. And if Mike Evans is in fact running a go route, well, he can blow by you. So you don't want that to happen. And so then as you see, Evans just stops and look at how open he gets. And that's just a masterclass at great route running more than anything. It's not necessarily him using speed. It's not him using, his size, even though he is obviously 6'5". It's not him using his footwork. It's just him knowing how to run routes, knowing the best way to find a way to get open. And a lot of guys in the NFL, in fact, most, if not all guys in the NFL, in that situation wouldn't notice, oh, hey, if I do this, I'll get way more open. And that's just kind of what makes him such a good player is he does those smart little things. And then there's also something like this, where this is going to be the complete opposite, right? The last one is him being such a technically great receiver. This one is him being tall. That's what this play is. Because honestly, that's a huge part of his game. And you know what? You can't teach height. So I don't hold it against him that he uses his height to his advantage. Because that's a key aspect of football in general. Being taller can absolutely help you. On this play, it's zone coverage, and this is something Tampa Bay does from time to time, and they have done since he's been there, which is kind of just, hey, Evans, go to the back of the end zone, and if it's zone coverage, we might just throw it up to you and hope for the best. Because watch how right when this play starts, I mean, you see Evans kind of just, slides to the back of the end zone. He even points up like, hey, just throw it up here. I got this. No one's particularly close to me. It's going to be really difficult for them to make the play. I'm taller than them. And not only that, but he can go up and get the ball too. I mean, watch how high Brady throws it, but Evans is able to make that catch. So none of the Chargers even tried to jump up and knock it away. It was that high, but Evans can go up and get it, and it doesn't even really look that difficult for him, which is pretty funny. And, I also feel like it helps that even if there is contact, he is strong enough that he tends to hold on to the ball anyways. So that's part of how he's such a good red zone threat, honestly, is he just can sit in the back of the end zone and make those types of plays. And so now let's talk about something like this. We're going to go back to his route running for a second because, again, we got to talk about his route running. It's amazing what he can do, really incredible. This is going to be cover two man, and he's running a route over the middle. So he has a favorable route against this type of concept, so Brady is going to look his way. However, watch how right when this play starts. So you see how, at this point, what most guys would do is just sort of run underneath and just try and get open immediately, right? That's what a lot of guys would do. And I think you could even argue that's what you probably should do. But Mike Evans is going to be a bit more creative with this. He's going to take the scenic route. Watch what he's going to do. As you see, he goes around to the right, which gets the cornerback completely out of position. Evans makes the catch and gets all the way to the 1 yard line. If he ran underneath, he probably still makes the catch, but they probably only get like 10 yards or so instead of getting the 30 plus yards that he got from running in that route in a creative way. So really just fun stuff from Mike Evans to go around and get the cornerback to have to turn his shoulders and hips. That's what Evans will do to you. He's going to make you turn your hips, turn your shoulders, and probably not see the ball until it's already in his hands. And also on this play, I gotta say, for someone who runs a 4.53, which is solid, but not like what you typically expect from like a speed guy, there's no way that he should be able to blow by as many corners in the NFL as he has been able to blow by. It's incredible how many times he just runs right by someone. This is the perfect example. It's man coverage, cover one play, so it's a one-on-one matchup. And you see the corner even has about 5 yards of separation, so he's prepared for Evans to blow by him. And as you see, right when this starts, you see him, he runs over and creates a little bit of contact as well, and he's just such a big target being 6'5". And, you see 27 for Detroit kind of complaining about the contact. That's another thing that Mike Evans has mastered, and you can love it or hate it, but it's a real thing, is he can figure out exactly what kind of contact won't get called. He's the master at that, of creating contact in a way that's not going to get a penalty. And sometimes guys will sort of create the contact back, which then means that they're the ones creating a penalty. So it's also why he racks up so many yards through pass interference penalties, especially deep down the field. So all of that stuff, very good, and it's kind of one of those things, you don't typically look for that in a receiver, but you probably should because there's a ton of value there. And one more thing is something like this. So you might look at his stats in certain games and say, oh, he kind of disappeared. Well, no, here's what really happened. And he did kind of disappear in terms of the stats. He didn't, get a ton of targets in the Super Bowl, but there's a reason for that. In the Super Bowl, you see how this is man coverage. I brought this play up before because it's really worth mentioning when we talk about the big three receivers Tampa Bay had: Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans. This is such a tremendous play to exemplify that, because you see that Kansas City is double teaming not one, but two Tampa Bay receivers right here. They're double teaming Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. But this now means that Antonio Brown has a one-on-one matchup. And watch, as you see, it's a play action, and Brady's just going to find Antonio Brown, who's able to win against a one-on-one matchup pretty well. So that's maybe my favorite thing I love about Mike Evans, if I'm being honest. I have never seen a true number one receiver like Mike Evans be so willing to take on a double team. He has no problem doing that. He's totally cool. He'll take on a double team and, let the teammates throw, let Brady throw it to Godwin, throw it to Antonio Brown, throw it to the tight ends, run the ball. He doesn't care, which, again, that's kind of how football should be in a lot of ways, but it feels like it isn't. I mean, how many times have we seen, and you can take your pick, even Antonio Brown, back when he was with the Steelers, when he was getting double-teamed all game, he would still be throwing fits saying, you got to get me to football. You would see the team force it to him, even though he's getting double-teamed. I have never seen Mike Evans, pout in any way about that. And maybe he does it quietly, I don't know, but I don't see that. Now, I have seen the ball get forced to him when he's getting double teamed, but that's just because Jameis Winston is a wild quarterback who, he'll throw it into triple team. He doesn't care. But when Brady was there, basically never was Mike Evans getting thrown when there was a double team, and he seemingly was cool with that. And that's a tremendous value right there, just taking on two players. That helps a lot. So yeah, that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.